Swinging a ground ball, stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first, and the Boston Red Sox are the world champions for the first time in 86 years.
Together they have, and together they stand alone on top of the mountain for now. And once again, the Boston Celtics stand alone for all time. It is banner 18.
No icing. For the first time in 39 years, the Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And a title for the Patriots!
I can't believe it!
They have completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome into episode 29 of a New Era podcast. My name is Hanson, better known as Fryddy online, and I am joined this morning with my dad, the OG Frid. Dad, would you like to say hello to the listeners?
Well, hello there, listeners. Good morning. Good morning. Another Monday, another week.
Another week, another Monday. A week in which we finally do have some sports back now that the All-Star break is done. Dad, I actually want to bring this up to you. I forgot to even mention this beforehand. I feel like me and my buddies talk about this like every year. But if you had to take 1 week or just like one period of the sports year,
yeah,
what is the worst? Because I think it's probably All-Star Game week. Not because like all the All-Star Game stuff's boring, but like we're forced to bet on WNBA when it's All-Star week for the MLB and there's really nothing going on. Where do you rank it? Like, what else could actually compete with being that bad of a week of sports?
Well, I was just going to say sometime like no, you can't say September. I was thinking like if your MLB team.
Of course you can't say September. That's
I
fucking
just,
like week one of the NFL.
And I thought NFL and college football. Because I was going to say if your MLB team is not happening at the, end of September around that time. But because then basketball, because I was going to say basketball and NHL are still in training
October,
getting ready. Yeah. So I was thinking that, but then I totally forgot the flagship sport of America, football, is in prime going.
Yeah, and I was
and
about
then
to say,
probably
like, those baseball teams, like you probably know too, by August, end of August, if your team is not going to be playing.
Then that could be it. Then the second would be, just before, because you're dealing with freaking preseason football. Your college football team either has hype or is going to be nothing.
Well, end of August, that's like week 0 sometimes for college football.
Right now, week 0 is huge. I can't believe how exciting that is now.
Yeah, week 0 is pretty cool. What about?
So you got to say like August, 18th, 19th, if your baseball team is out of it.
What about, here's a good one, maybe, the week right after the Super Bowl. Well, because you're off the high of the NFL. You do still have NBA and NHL going on there, but MLB doesn't start up. They might have pitchers and catchers out there yet at training camp or at spring training.
No, that'll probably be near the end.
Near the end of okay, so you don't even have that to really look forward to. You're not really in the last push of the year for NHL, ML or NBA.
Yeah, because
I think like the NBA game, NBA All-Star.
Well, the All-Star game,
that might be right then too. NBA All-Star Week. It was February 16th, February 18th, and then the Super Bowl 2024 was February 11th. Okay, so they do still have that week, but there's a chance that they're together. That could be. I don't think it's worse than the MLB All-Star Game week in terms of just nothing. But I think I would say that might be worse than end of August. Because I think like you were just right there with college football. And then football's the week after. Like, and even college football itself, I think, can carry that week over.
Oh, now week 0, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say it's probably the week before week 0 if your MLB team is out of it and selling. You're sitting there
that. Actually,
and you have the third preseason game of NFL where no one's playing.
or no, since they have the new schedule, that might be the week they don't do one now. Remember, they used to do 4, now they do 3, and I think take a break. Actually, I might be on board with you there, because at least in All-Star Game week, like, granted, we had 3 All-Stars, so that was nice. But if you're, like, really bad, like, I don't know, a Colorado Rockies fan, you only have, like, 1 All-Star. He's most likely not participating in the Home Run Derby. He might be, but if he's not, then the only thing you're rooting for that whole week is probably the Futures game. Because if you're really bad, hopefully you have a good pipeline. You might not. You might not have that many guys in the Futures game. And then you're looking forward to 1 at bat for your All-Star in the 7th inning of the All-Star game on Tuesday, where he's going to strike out to like the 4th best pitcher in the other league.
Yeah.
In like a 3-pitch at bat. Yeah, that might actually take the cake, because August, if your team sucks, you really have nothing to look forward to. At least you might have a pinch hitting thing to look forward to in the All-Star game, where you're rooting on your guy that's barely hitting like 270. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, our All-Star week wasn't terrible, though, because our savior, Jarren Duran, won the All-Star Game MVP last week.
He did.
This story with him just gets better and better, from the guy that we were saying he's getting snubbed, why isn't he on these voting things, blah, 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 to then having the game-winning home run in Arlington. I'm looking at something else. Yeah. What does this mean for you? How do you feel about this? And also, I mean, you should remember this because we did just do it on trivia last week. But what does this mean for the Red Sox, with this being the first All-Star Game MVP since
2008, JD Drew?
Thank God you didn't forget it. Yeah, what does this mean for the Sox and for Duran and I guess just the mindset and the vibes going into the second half around the locker room?
Well, I think I saw something following like a meme or video or whatever on social media that 2 years ago he didn't even run out that ball in Fenway Park that was hit over his head, and they showed that to now him hitting a home run in the All-Star game.
Damn, he cranked that thing too. I hadn't seen that home run till right now. Oh yeah, pimp that shit right on Hunter Green's head. Damn, he killed that. But go on.
What it means for him, obviously looking at contract talks coming up, probably you need to keep him in the fold.
Yeah, I think if there was any uncertainty, that was cleared up Tuesday night. Yeah. I think it is now. There's not, oh, well, let's see, we just drafted Jordan Montgomery and blah, blah, blah. I think there could have been, if you were really looking to still push Duran out of town, there could have been something. I don't think so, but just thinking from a very different perspective here as a Red Sox fan. But Tuesday night, as soon as that ball went out of the yard, it's now number one priority when it comes to Duran is he stays a Red Sox for a while.
Yeah. And again, you touched on, I think it was last podcast, the 2026, and we had Cedena at second unless we keep Von Grisham. But, now it looks like the kid can be your center fielder. I think I heard Fred Lynn, even during the telecast of the MLB or thereafter, Fred Lynn even mentioned he absolutely loves this kid. He reminds me, again, I said of Brady Anderson. I loved Brady Anderson back then until he got on the juice and cranked out 51 homers when he hit like 7 or 15 the year before, which secured him a huge contract to Baltimore, and then he faded away. I think Jarren being 27 is now getting into that prime. He's understood his new batting stance. His speed is just a killer.
He's bigger than ever.
Yep. I'm really happy for him because we've liked him for a while. Even in those dark days when he wasn't running out crap, I still was hoping he'd turn around because I still really like the kid.
You still saw something. Entering as a defensive replacement in center field too, in the top of the fifth. Immediately drew the assignment against Hunter Green. He is now the first Red Sox player to hit an all-star homer since Adrian Gonzalez in 2011. He's the youngest Boston Slugger with a home run in the Midsummer Classic since Fred Lynn went deep in the 1979 game. He was also 27. And he is now the fifth Red Sox All-Star Game MVP, with putting him in a conversation with this is great company to be in. You ready?
Yeah.
Yaz in 1970, Pedro in 99, Roger Clemens in 86, and J.D. Drew in 2008. He's now the fifth ever All-Star Game MVP, winning the Ted Williams All-Star Game MVP trophy.
Yep.
Which is nice. Yeah, good for Duran, man. I mean, and it's even greater too because, I mean, I feel like there's some people that could have sat back and been like, yeah, well, he's doing it and he's doing great, but can he do it for a whole year? Yeah, it's great he got a home run in the All-Star Game, but is him being in the All-Star Game and not having this break gonna fuck around and mess with his, just mess with his game going into the second half of the year? And it doesn't, because he smacked 2 freaking home runs against the Dodgers this weekend. Granted, sad news, we did get swept. Not the best start to a second half that we could have had, but it's the Dodgers, and they're good. It really would have been nice to take one. I think it was Saturday, I think. No, that went to extras. Yeah. No, because we were up 6-5. That was blown in the bottom of the ninth. Was that Kenley's day? I think that was Kenley's.
Yep.
Blew that one. And then last night starts off really early with, I think, a Duran home run in the first. And then they got 2, and then the Dodgers just did Dodgers things. We did get 3 in the ninth, but I mean, like we've talked about earlier this year, while I do think differently of, when we had that conversation of at what point down how many runs do you think that the game is over for the Red Sox? That has completely changed for me. What used to be 3 is now like 5 by the 5th inning because the offense is turning on more. But in that situation, we were down 3-9 going into the 9th. That's a little above the 5, like I said, and just can't come back and do it. So start off the second half with a 3-game sweep. Well, we didn't. Dodgers did. But now we get to look ahead to this week. Let's do that. All right. So,
well, hold on. Before you jump into that, let me just give you this. Duran now has 98 straight games played. We got 2 more before we beat Mo Vaughn. I just pulled up his stats here. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. In 2023, so he's had 4 years now with us. In 2023, he played 102 games. He had 332 at-bats, 46 runs, 98 hits, 34 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs, 40 RBIs, 24 walks, and 24 stolen bases with an average of 295. 2024. He's played now 98 games, so just 4 less. He has more at-bats, almost nearly 100, 80 more at-bats. He's had 21 more runs, in less games. He's had over 20. He's got 21 more hits in 4 less games. Now, yes, he has a whole lot more at bats to do that, but he only has 4 less doubles, 34-30. He has 10 triples versus his 2. He has 12 home runs over the 8, so he's already past that. He's already passed his RBI total by 8. And his stolen base, he's only got to do 2 more. And his average is at 290.
So you're doing this to tell me that there's been such a big difference that
difference.
one half of 2024 Duran is better than all of 2023 Duran.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't say one half. I forget this isn't technically halfway through the year. We're past that, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, great. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, we've been talking about Duran all year and his incredible pace, and I don't think it's ever been a question of can he keep it up, just because we saw just from the start, like he hit the ground running, and then he's just remained consistent. And it's crazy because like you have these guys that, you know, are having a year like this, and even though they've been great, it's like you're almost just waiting for like that slump. And you should usually always have one, probably before, you're going to see one before the All-Star game. And I can't remember a time this year in which I would actually call it a slump for Jarren Duran. Do you have one? Like, even if it was a 3-game fucking streak of just nothing, like he's always there.
Yeah, I don't think there has been a slump that he's had. It's funny. ESPN is projecting him to do all 162 games.
That's awesome.
With 50 RBIs, 17 triples, and 20 home runs.
That's probably what's keeping him so consistent, is the no days off. It's like, even if he has a tough game and goes 0 for 4, it's like, all right, we'll get back on the horse tomorrow and keep it going. And I love that he's not only physically and like talent-wise, he's a better baseball player this year too, but I think his mental state coming into games and now being like our leadoff or our 2 guy, and knowing that he is, I mean, and going into this year, it was like, all right, well, Devers is our best player, and then what else? And now it's like, now Devers has been good this year, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But like I said, going into this year, it was one cornerstone piece, and it was Devers. And now you're looking at it and you're like, well, our franchise might have a couple cornerstone pieces, and Jarren Duran is definitely in that conversation. And it's just a matter of, at this point, if he keeps playing at this pace, it's not a matter of like if, it's a matter of when does he overtake Devers as the number one like guy for us for the remainder of his contract, his career, however long he stays. Can you see him overtaking Devers as that guy?
I don't think so. As much as we like him, I don't think, even though he has obviously more tools than Devers, you know, I still think, unless, you know, we have this absolute mindset change of baseball in that you're going back to an all 5-tool player who is better, I still think the home run ball is king. And Devers can do that much better and has that opportunity to hit that home run at any at-bat than Jarren.
Yeah. So you're saying just because of that, that'll slightly put him above it. But
yeah.
All right, well, let me give you a hypothetical then. What about Jarren Duran continues his pace this year? You know, it won't be this year, but next year he comes out and he's no longer leading off. Or he could be. He could be like that Mookie in 2018.
Yeah.
Where he is leading off, but he's hitting leadoff dingers out the fucking ass, you know? If he contends for 30 home runs next year and Devers has 35 to 40, is it closer in your eyes?
It's closer, but this is the thing. I think that if his mindset is not to hit the dinger, which is making him a much better player.
Hitting 290. Yeah, he's wanting. It's the leadoff guy. He's been told get on base. If you hit it yard, that's great. But if not, you've got tremendous speed as a tool. Just get on base.
Right. If you're going to change, which I think has probably been a big mindset and change in his batting style and his approach. Maybe early on, because again, we've mentioned this before. The kid is jacked. He is huge. And when you see someone of his size, is it, I want to hit home runs and not just put the ball in play and then use my best attribute, his speed. So if you're changing to try and hit 30 home runs, if you're hitting 25 triples, 30 triples, I think that's just as impressive as the home run pace, because you're not changing your bat approach, your swing, all that, and you're getting on base, especially if you are the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, you're getting on
you
third
are most likely
with 3 outs to get home.
Right.
Yeah, 90 feet away.
Yeah.
And it
or even if he's hitting 30, 35, 40, 55 doubles at the end of the year.
Doubles, you can still get out of it, and we've seen that happen this year. But I definitely like what you're saying about the triples.
Doubles
and
it
puts you in a position where it's like, if you do get on base, and even if we get down to 2 outs, that's what Devers coming up then.
Yeah.
And if he hits one, it's a 2-run home run at that point instead of 1. He's just a tool regardless.
Know what? I think that you made a great point. A 2-run home run instead of a 1-run. I think because of his ability to be on base has increased Devers' RBI totals. Because he's on base so much of the time.
And then if he gets on with a double or a triple to lead off the game, you're already fucking around with the other pitcher. You're already almost in his head. It's just like, all right, damn, this just started, and now we're in a tight situation where I can't pitch wild. I can't try to get crazy going out of the zone here. Yes, we have a base, but if you just walk the second guy, then you're first and second or first and third, and it can be a whole lot of shit. So,
what about yesterday's game in the top of the 9th? He was on second base, and we had 1 out, and he just took third base. No one was watching. Took that, and then we had 2 walks right after, and then had to have a pitch and change. Yeah. I mean, that affected. I'm thinking about it at the start of the game, but even in the 9th, it's almost more crucial being down. We were down 9-5 going in, and we had opportunity.
9-3. I just went over that. We had 3 in the top of the 9th. We lost 9-6.
9-6. So we scored 3 runs. He was the 6th run scored, because when I saw it was 9-5, and we had then 2 walks, and then Motzi almost hit into an ending inning double play, but he beat that out. And there, Motzi beat out a double play ball. It's affecting everybody else's willingness, want to run hard and finish the play.
Yeah, and actually play all 9 innings, not feel like, by fucking the 5th or the 6th, we're down by 6. What are we going to do? It's like, we can put up some runs. We know we can. We'll know Jarren's going to get on base, and somebody's going to get him home.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's look ahead for this week. We play on a Monday again. We're on just a mini out west streak with the Dodgers and now the Rockies before coming home. So we play the Rockies today, tomorrow, Wednesday, 3-game set in Colorado. Then we have an off day Thursday, and then we come back to Fenway for a very crucial series against the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all at 7 o'clock. Nice. We got back-to-back Sunday night baseballs. All right, 6 games, 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Yankees. The Yankees that we are 4.5 games behind right now. Give me a prediction.
Well, I'm going to say 4-2. Obviously, we feel the problem with this 4-2 is that we can feel as if hopefully we can sweep the Rockies and then we get one against the Yankees, but then losing 2 now pushes us further back then against the Yankees in the standings.
Yes, but so the Yankees play the Mets and the O's play the Marlins. Their first series here. I didn't look at the O's second one. The Yankees play the Mets. They could split. They play the Rays to end the series today. They're trying to. Oh damn! I thought they had a 3-game. They're trying to split that series. They're down 1-2 to the Rays right now, so they could lose that. And that's another game closer if we win against the Rockies tonight. Then you got the Mets. And then they have an off day Thursday, and then they play us too. Our team's definitely turning out better at home, 24-25 now. So this Yankee series gives us the opportunity to go above 500 at home. But you could come into this 3.5 games. Well, today it could be 3.5 games back of them if they lose. And then if they split one with the Mets, it's like 2.5 then I think 2.5 if we were to sweep the Rockies.
Yeah, but
they
then,
get one, lose one.
And then if we take 1 out of 2 against the Yankees.
Yeah, then they'll be 4.5.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to, you're saying 4-2.
But it comes us to do 2-1 against the Rockies and 2-1 against the Yankees.
Which wouldn't be bad. Like we're saying, we want and kind of hope for a sweep here. Not even just so much that the Rockies are that bad, but I think this team that just got swept and was so close so many times in this series to at least taking a game against the Dodgers, who are, a top team. I think it has us come out swinging, go out here and can sweep those Rockies for that reason. It's one of those like, oh shit, we know we're in the playoff hunt now, going into the second half of the season or after the All-Star game. So it's like, all right, guys, you can't give up easy ones here. Let's go out.
And we have beat up on bad teams.
We have beat up on bad teams. One thing, though, Kenley Jansen will not be making the trip to Colorado. I don't know if you saw this, but in previous years, he's had heart complications with the elevation there. So he won't be traveling with the team to Colorado. But he will be back playing with us against the Yankees at home on Friday. So hopefully we're not going to get into a situation where we need him. I don't envision we would if we're talking about a sweep like this and how we should handle this team. Do you know who's pitching? Because I know Cutter pitched last night.
Yeah.
So let me see if we can see Red Sox probable pitchers. Bello's got to be in here somewhere, right?
So it'd probably be Nick, Bello, and then somebody.
It's got Tanner tonight, TBD tomorrow, and Nick Pivetta Wednesday. So maybe Bello tomorrow. Or I was going to say Criswell, but I think he pitched. Oh, no, it has. I mean, this has fantasypros.com has Criswell projected tomorrow. Off day, and then Bello would start Friday against the Yankees. Cutter would start Saturday against the Yankees. Houck would start Sunday against the Yankees.
Oh,
I love that. I love how this is. That's a great. Yeah. All right. Well, then I hope this is how it goes because that gives us a great opportunity.
That could be a 5-1 week.
It could be a 5-1 week. It really could. I'm loving that starting lineup there. It could be the one we lose is like Cutter. I think Bello's turning it on. So I could see him, and it makes sense to the Yankees almost. We both coming off no game Thursday. You come into Boston after the Subway series. That's a lot of
emotional,
emotional one, especially if you split it or lose it. That's a big series. You have a day off, and then the Yankees are probably coming in looking like, all right, We don't really care about what happens Friday. This is the first game. Get on in there and look competitive. Got to win Saturday, but they're thinking Sunday against Hauk. Got to show up. Sunday Night Baseball. So they're probably looking forward to Sunday. We know we can rely on Hauk on Sunday. We're looking at let's get Monday. Sunday's really the rubber game that's going to matter, but I feel like the Yankees might be overlooking it a little. I think coming off a Mets series, having Sunday Night Baseball, knowing that even if you get swept, I think you'd still be up half a game or maybe a game. They're looking for the big one. And so, yeah, I think.
And the big
I could see a 5-1 rate.
Well, if Friday is a 10-4, a big win for us, I think the wheels will fall off in New York then.
Well, we say that, but remember what happened in the July 4th series where we looked great. Now, we didn't beat the brakes off of them that Friday night. That was the comeback win in extra innings, but then they came out the next day and beat us, 14-4?
Yeah.
So they can bounce back, but I think I like what you're saying, where if they do have to bounce back, I think it's almost like they go all out Saturday again. And then it's like, fuck, guys, we used a little too much of our offensive power, used too much offensive luck on Saturday. Now we got to face Tanner Houck, who is arguably a top 3 pitcher in the AL this year so far. Top 5, definitely.
Well, again, it's their series, this Mets series, the Subway series going in. If they lose it, if they sweep, if they lose it 1-2, they're going to have to push. And again, I don't know if your manager can make those right decisions, if the guys can perform. And again, Bello just seems to be their daddy.
Yep. Yeah, and we already know Rafael Devers. I just got the news. He's already hit 3 home runs in that Yankee series on Friday. It's already happened.
Oh.
So he goes into the series up 3 home runs. Let's see if he can hit, 6 or something. But we know he owns the Yankees too. He owns the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. We'll see if he can really own them at home this week. But all right, so I think we're both comfortable saying 4-2 floor, 5-1 would be great.
Yeah.
If we go 6-0, I might streak the streets. That would be big. That would just be big for us coming into next week. I didn't look ahead at the schedule there, and we'll do that one next week there. But we'll see where we're at in the AL East standings coming into next week. Something I did want to say, because I think I sent this to you on Twitter as well. I might have just put it as a bookmark. Let me see.
There was an interesting stat as well. I heard watching last night's game that this is only the second time the Red Sox have lost on a Sunday.
Yep. No, we are the Sunday Sox. Oh, I bookmarked this because this was just a funny tweet. From at Devers Enjoyer, Big Boston Red Sox fan account on Twitter. On July 2nd, he went and posted, looking at the Red Sox schedule, we could easily go 8-4 heading into the All-Star break and be 9 games above 500, but knowing the Red Sox will go 5-7 instead. Then he posted something on the 14th saying, we went 9-3 over this stretch. Everything is good.
I mean, we're still sitting here, a 541 winning percentage. That's 6th in the American League right now.
That's what I was trying to find. I can't find the actual tweet right now, but it was something from Bleacher Report that had their power rankings for the best teams in the league going into the second half. And I think it had the Sox in 6th.
Yeah.
6th. They think we're the 6th best team in the MLB right now.
Again, we went in, we did not talk about them until episode 11 or 12. And we barely did as they were doing spring training, had no anticipation. You and I, behind the scenes privately, were like, what the hell are we going to do with this podcast in the summer with just the Sox playing? And beyond every expectation, this team is doing awesome. I mean, not that we're going to go 500 the rest of the way, because I think we won't. But even if we did, we still have a winning record, and our expectation is beyond what we thought would happen.
I will say, though, I think I saw this stat, too. I might be wrong. No, I think I'm right. I can probably just find this stat. But it was something about the strength of schedule, rest of season, MLB. I'm pretty sure remaining strength schedule. Okay, no. So I saw this somewhere else then. And it had us as like the number one strength of schedule for the remainder of the year. But this is having it on Tankathon. Has us at 14th. It's almost dead center or dead middle at 504. 64 games left. Tied for the most left, which is nice. Because if it may come down to the end of the year and we have one more, we've got 7 more against the O's, 7 more against the Yankees, 3 more against the Twins, 3 more against the Royals, 6 more against the Astros, 3 more against the Mariners. Those are our toughest opponents. And the easiest opponents, we have 3 more against the White Sox, 3 more against the Rockies, 8 more against the Blue Jays, 6 more against the Rangers, who hopefully by the time we play them again, will have sold.
He's selling.
3 more against the Tigers. Dead middle again for strength of schedule just in the AL East. The only thing is, so we're at 504, 64 games left. The O's are at a strength of schedule at 492, so a favorable schedule for them the rest of the way. They do have a series against the Dodgers, though. The Yankees are at a 491 strength of schedule left with 61 games. O's have 63. Yankees still have to play 3 against the Phillies, 3 against the Guardians, 3 against the O's, 3 against the Cardinals, 3 against the Royals.
Well, what about the Royals' strength of schedule?
Yeah, because we do have to look at them. Royals and Twins. Royals have the 5th hardest at 513, 62 games left. 3 against the Phillies, 7 against the Guardians, 3 against the Yanks, 3 against the Braves, 6 against the Twins, 3 against us. And the Twins have the 11th hardest at 507 remaining. They have 64 games remaining. They got 3 against the Phillies, 3 against the O's, 8 against the Guardians, 3 against the Braves, 6 against the Royals, 3 against the Sox. So I'm liking in terms of wild card, which I know is what we're aiming for. It would be cool to win the division, and I know that's what I'm looking ahead at with the O's and the Yankees right now. But in terms of just getting into the playoffs, we're in a favorable spot over the Twins and the Royals, who are giving us a run for our money there.
Yeah. So that in big picture, we get to talk about the Sox, even going into football season, and it's going to come down to that last series of the year, which will be exciting.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we're 1 game out of the wild card right now because of the Dodgers sweeping us at 53 and 45. Royals are 55 and 45. Twins at 54 and 44. I want to see who they're playing this week. Real quick. Royals play the Diamondbacks in a series starting today. 3-game set. And then the Cubs, they got it kind of easy this week. And the Twins play the Phillies starting today, 3-game set. And then the Tigers, 3-game set. So they got a week like ours, I'd say, just flipped.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. I think we're going to come into next week, do episode 30 next Monday, and we'll be back in a wild card spot.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think we'll be there.
Yeah, I agree. Percentage-wise, up a game, or if not, virtually tied. Yeah, but I think we'll be up a game.
Okay, so you got some trade deadline rumors and stuff. I've got some stuff pulled up here too, but I can start us off.
Well, I just see Red Sox and Yankees reportedly talks to the Cubs about Jameson Tallon.
There was also, I know we were talking about it last week. It was one of the names that I put out there. Garrett Crochet.
Yep.
From the White Sox. There was where is this? there was a report on the 20th, 2 days ago, saying while Crochet's been a popular trade candidate heading into the deadline, Red Sox are one team that doesn't appear to be in the mix for the White Sox left-hander. In a recent edition of the Fenway Rundown podcast, Chris Cotello said Boston has not talked about Crochet at all. That is, at this point, not something they're aggressively trying to do, since the Red Sox are loath to move any of their top 3 prospects, and Mayer, Anthony Teal, don't want to move them. It seems hard to imagine that Chicago would accept an offer from Boston that didn't include at least one of those stars. That's fine. Would have been nice to get him, but I don't want to give up one of those guys for it. I know that's probably the only way, but...
Yeah, so I think, you're looking at Jack, was it Flaherty?
Yep.
I think
from the Tigers.
Yeah. And also, I think a lot big has been popping off here because Tristan Cassis may not be.
He's nowhere close to where we want him to be.
So I saw Justin
Turner, like a reunion. I know from the Blue Jays.
Yep.
I'm looking at that right now. Cassis has been sidelined since April 20th with a rib cartilage and has yet to go through his rehab assignment or even start it. It says if all goes well with the rest of his rehab at this stage of the season, he could be one setback away from missing the second half entirely. So that's why they're being very patient with him, and you got no reason to rush him back. We're still staying in the wild card hunt without him right now. The deadline, though, is in 8 days. So I wouldn't mind this move. Bring him back from last year. Bring Justin Turner back. He's been having a good year. He did have a bad May. But in June, he was slashing .333, .465, and .449. He could play both corner infield spots and would be a good guy to rotate in there with Dom Smith, I think, for the rest of this year until Cassis comes back or whenever he needs a rest day to make sure we're not really just running him too much. And he brings a lot of good playoff experience that for some of these younger guys.
And again,
I think would be great.
A clubhouse fan favorite.
Yeah, they love him. Positive Vaughn Grisham news. Vaughn Grisham started a rehab assignment with the Woo Sox on the 20th.
Fantastic.
That's nice. But yeah, Cassis is still... Cora said Cassis remains far away from rehab assignment. He's taking soft toss and T swings right now.
And how about this one?
I think we won't get him until...
Tristan?
Yeah, I'm going to say midway through August. If they can hold him out until the start of September, they will.
Yeah. How about this one? There is, and what is this on? And it was also reported by MassLive.com's Sean Adams. This is MLB. Oh, just trade rumors. Mark Polishik is saying this. Trevor Story. They're having Cora and Story are talking that maybe we just bring him back at the end. Maybe he can come back.
There's no way. I thought
they thought it was season-ending surgery, but maybe not.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me look at this.
Both Story and Cora stopped saying that a return was in the cards, yet it is notable that Story has made such quality progress rehabbing what was thought to be a season-ending surgery.
God damn it, Boston Globe. No, I'm not paying for you. I'll just go to Nesson.
Just getting the strength back and getting the motion back. I've made a lot of really good strides there, Story says. It's close, man. It's close, especially from how it was earlier on. It was not in good shape. It's been a crazy turnaround the last month and half, and we're riding the momentum.
All right. Well, I don't think it'd be something that we'd get for the regular season. This would be a guy that, if so, he probably wouldn't be added on until an ALCS roster if we needed him.
Well, we need to put him in September.
Yeah, because you get your playoff roster and then you get an expanded World Series roster, right?
Yep.
So he'd be on there, probably. That'll be the tell. If he's not on there, it's like, all right, well, we won't see him this year, but if we see him at least on there, it's like, oh shit, if you make it deep enough, I mean, it would be his postseason debut with us. If you make it deep enough, and even if it's late in the game, you bring him in as a pinch hitter, he just wants to go out there and try to hit, I'd say do it.
Now, the only thing is that do you do that if he's coming along, if he's iffy, do you try and do it, as you said, for that postseason run, which would then stifle somebody else getting called up, Roman Anthony, Kyle Teal, Marco Mayer. I mean, one of those guys may not then get called up because one of your roster spots is being taken by a guy with potentially a season-ending shoulder injury.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, I don't think Roman would be called up. I think he might be the closest. Well, no, Mayer I think is the closest. But I think if you're bringing back Story, you're not bringing back Mayer. Going to have too much of a logjam there. And with Raphael still there. Roman, I mean, you could, but I don't know. I think you want to keep that spot for an infielder. So it's either going to be like a Roman or an Abreu. And quite frankly, I love what Roman did at the showcase and everything, but I want Abreu there if we're going into the playoffs and you keep the same team that you had all year. And then the only one that I would like to pull up would be Kyle Teal, but I don't want to pull him up, or don't want to pull him up in favor of Story. I want Reese McGuire to go back down, and you keep Wong and you keep Teal for the playoffs. But it's also one of those things, these are rookies, dude. We have not seen them at the major league level. I don't think you want to pull them up and see their debut and their first taste of MLB baseball is against the hardest pitchers in the toughest games with the highest stakes.
And we're going to be in a hunt for the playoffs at that point. So is it somebody like, instead of Bobby Dahlbeck that has played, that could be a defensive replacement?
I'm going to stop you right now. I know we love Bobby, but there is no way in hell that Bobby is making a postseason roster for the Red Sox this year.
I'm not saying postseason. I'm just saying that September call-up that you all get because you expand your rosters, that these guys get to play.
Bobby Dahlbeck will not be back at the MLB level.
All right. You want to bet around a golf on that?
No. I'm betting the sanity of my team. There's no reason that Bobby Dahlbeck should be called back up to this level.
He'll
at
be
all
up
this
in
year.
September.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, you got anything else about the Sox?
Nope.
Cool. Moving on. NFL training camp starts in 2 days. Patriots are back at it. NFL. I'm so fucking excited for football. I was talking with somebody about this weekend. Saturday night, we went out, got some drinks and some dinner with Sav in her last day here. And I was talking to one of my buddies that, he's been betting every now and again, like with like, he was telling me, he was like, dude, I was cooking WNBA. And I was like, see, this is why we need football back. Because when you can't bet baseball, or when you're cold on baseball, you're defaulting to betting on WNBA. And that is just not something that we should be doing. Unless it's just betting the over on Caitlin Clark recently, because she's been insane. So I'm so ready to start betting on football. I'm so ready to see football again. This NCAA football game this week has just made me fucking start itching for it, man. But So Wednesday it starts. Gates open at 10, practice at 11. Same thing Thursday, same thing Friday. No public practice on Saturday, although I think they're still probably practicing. It's just not public. Sunday, yeah, they've definitely got to be. Sunday, practice begins at 11. Monday begins at 11. Tuesday, 11. No public practice. So maybe they're giving them days off. But it looks like we're going...
That whole new thing where NFL has to give days off.
Oh, you do? Okay, so that'll be it. Saturday, 27th is an off day. Wednesday, the 31st is an off day. Sunday, the 4th is an off day. And Wednesday, August 7th through Sunday, August 11th, no public practice. Then you got the 12th, the 12th and 13th, two more practices. And then we start preseason. So we are 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I bet that Wednesday, August 7th through Sunday, August 11th, that's going to be that dual practice that you see against.
Oh, yeah.
Teams,
Who do we have? The Eagles or something again?
Yeah.
Or the Commanders? I don't know. I feel like those are the only two teams that we do the joint practices with. All right. Well, so then here we got what? This is 1, 2, 3 weeks of training camp for the Pats here. Let me hear some bold predictions from you. Let me hear some guys that you think are going to make a splash here at training camp. Maybe look a lot better than we thought, and give us something to look forward to going into preseason.
All right. Well, I think tight end wise, I'm going to say Jaheim Bell, the Florida State kid. I think he'll show some great versatility. I think they'll be excited about him. I think defensively, I'm going to be excited to see the safeties and where Marty Mappa is.
Marty Mapu.
Marty Mapu. I would love to see him. I think he'll stand out this year. And yeah, then I think we have to watch our offensive line. What's going to happen there?
Yeah, I think training camp, by the end of it. Now, I'm not saying I still don't think he's going to start till probably week 4, especially with the roster or with the schedule that we have this year, especially at the start of the year. But I think this training camp is going to show people that Drake May is a lot closer to starting in this league than people believe he is. I think a lot of people that around the league, Patriots fans or non-Patriots fans, have been trying to put him on the same timeline as we've seen for like other rookie quarterbacks, that maybe a week 8, week 9 start, week 10, once you know you're out of playoff contention. I don't think we're really going to be worrying about that too much, although our record predictions did say that, when we did it a couple weeks ago, that we'd be, in the hunt for a wild card up until probably week 14. But I think he's going to be a lot closer than people believe. And because of that, whereas I think that if he's going to start, it would be week 4. If he has a phenomenal training camp, I think we could see him week 3. Maybe not to start the game, but maybe like the second half. Yeah, you're saying O-line. There's just a lot of questions there, I guess. I really hope and could see Caden Wallace, the rookie from Penn State, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was from Penn State or Texas A&M. I'm pretty sure Penn State. I might be thinking the wrong school. I think he's going to have a phenomenal training camp, and I think he's going to pop out as a guy that we could feel okay starting week 1 as a rookie. Wide receiver-wise, I think we will know by the second week of training camp that the Patriots are cutting Juju Smith-Schuster before the start of the year. I think Tyquan Thornton will make the team. I don't know if he's going to really pop off and look great in training camp. I just think that Juju is going to look that bad, that old, and that we're just like, all right, this is a terrible signing. Let's get him out of here. Let's go with this whole youth movement at wide receiver. And then my last one, we're going to come out of this training camp in 3 weeks, and we are going to be petitioning all year that Christian Gonzalez is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to win Comeback Player of the Year. That's a fact, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even think that one's too far off. I think we're going to get through training camp. I've seen some videos of him training this offseason. And just, dude, he looks so mobile. He looks fast. And we already knew he was big as a corner. He looks super fast. He looks like an unbelievable ball hawk. Just his way of reading routes and cutting off routes at the exact right moment, or the exact arc in the route, wherever it is, arc in the ball. I think he is just an unbelievable ball hawk. He's going to have the best year for a quarterback that we have seen for the Pats since Stephon Gilmore won DPOY in 2019. That's my boldest prediction of training camp and probably for the year. But I think when this starts on Wednesday, that is when the Christian Gonzalez DPOY campaign begins.
And his counterpart, I'm going to say, is that kid Alex Austin.
Maybe. I think it's still Jonathan Jones. I think he'll be opposite side of him, but whoever it is, I always like our corners. All right. You got anything else with the Pats at least we'll have something to talk about for him next week because we'll be able to look at training camp reports and see how people are doing and kind of adjust our predictions per week, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about opening up, seeing where Drake is. Excited, probably more excited than the last couple of years about potential weapons we have on the offensive side.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Jalen Polk. I'm so excited to see the Drake May and Jalen Polk connection. And they've been together all off season. We saw videos of them at the Bruins playoff games and stuff. Their chemistry as a number one quarterback, number one receiver for years to come, I think, is really building in their off season. And I think the connection is going to translate to on the field, where we're gonna see something we're pretty excited about.
And Antonio Gibson, I think, is going to be a great piece.
Great piece. Yeah, I think. I mean, Ramondre's always been a guy that I don't feel terrible about putting him out there to catch balls, but I think the impact that Antonio Gibson's going to have on third down and in passing situations, not only just him being a good third down back and giving us a decent weapon out there, but taking away snaps from Ramondre, so he does not have to be a bell cow.
Yep.
So he doesn't need to be, because I know there was times last year where, and I think he played the majority of the year, but there were times last year where it's just like there was rumblings. Ramondre might be a little hurt. Ramondre's a little dinged up. I know he had a couple, knee scares throughout the year and shit like that. So taking snaps away from him, making sure he's just not hit as much, so that he can be 1,000-yard rusher for us, but not take the beating of some of the other 1,000-yard rushers in the league throughout the year.
No, I agree with you, because last year, what was next? Kevin Harris?
Ezekiel Elliott, but I really only just saw Ezekiel Elliott always as just a goal line guy. Now, granted, Zeke did play very well for us, but I don't want to be throwing Zeke out there as a third down back. He's never been a guy that you're, raving about his pass catching ability. He's a great blocking running back. He was a great goal line running back, but at this point in his career, I don't know. All right, so from NFL to college football, we don't have much college football news, but we have been playing college football all week, as is probably everybody else. Dad, how's your first week on college football 25 going?
Woke up this morning and ended up playing. Now, I started off not doing well, even playing on that freshman mode. And over the weekend, Hanson got me into playing All-American, is it?
Yep, All-American, comparable with All Madden difficulty.
Yeah, and you were teaching me some things. So this morning, I noticed I played my UMass team on varsity, and we won 2 games in a row. So we've had a 3-game win streak. We beat number 11 Missouri.
Nice. So, moving up there.
I'm feeling more confident in playing the game. It is absolutely so much fun to be able to do the recruiting. And, I think I mentioned to you, it's fun as is right now, but it's going to be more fun year 2 and year 3 when you've now recruited and you've found your players compared to just the players that are. So you really do feel like a head coach coming in going, okay, well, this is not the recruiting class I had. These are not the players I had. Let's just see what we can do. but let's wait for the guys that I can get.
Yeah, that's where I'm at in my offline ECU one. We're now going into year 3. I finished year 2 last night. We went 5-7 in week 1 in year 1. And then we turned it around. We went 11-3 year 2. Beat Charlotte in the American Athletic Conference Championship 50-21. We remember what they did to us a couple weeks before. Beat the fucking brakes out of them at home. And then I was a little pissed off, man, because before this game, you know how the college football playoff has one group of 5 bid.
Yeah.
Charlotte was projected to get in there. They were ranked 14 in my dynasty. I was ranked 24 going into the championship game. So I was like, all right, guys, we play this one game at a time, but if we beat the team that is projected for the college football playoff and ranked number 14, there's a chance we get in there. We got cucked. The Mountain West Championship ended up happening, and Boise State fucking won, went 12-1. So they got the group of 5 bid. Sucks we had to play in the fucking Serve Pro First Responder Bowl or something like that. But we had something to build off of.
So I haven't gotten that far yet, nor are my teams even close to being that good. And I'm playing a lot of independent teams are my choices. But do they actually have the college football playoff, or is it just bowl games? Or is
No, yeah, they have the whole playoff. You can see a whole bracket. You play.
So they have all 16 or whatever.
All 12 teams.
12 teams.
Yep.
Wow.
You play them at neutral fields. It's awesome. I haven't been in it yet. I watched Josh played in our offline dynasty or in our online dynasty for App State. He made it, but it is a. First off, let's just go out here and say, for the people that are all like, because, dude, I posted a fucking screenshot on Twitter yesterday against Penn State. I lost in our dynasty.
Yeah.
I was 54-6. I was down 41-0 at half. I simmed the second half. My team got 2 field goals. I couldn't get a first down in the first half against Penn State at Penn State. So, you know, all the people talking shit about, oh, you fucking suck at this game. Because, you know, I actually post when I lose games. I'm transparent. Everybody loses games in college football 25. They just don't want to say it. I post my fucking law. I post my ass whoopings. This game is not Madden, dude. It is not Madden. If you think that you're just going to walk into college football 25 and run this game like you did in Madden, you are in for a rude awakening. It is a completely different game. The pace is so different. Defense is impossible.
What I've seen too is, and obviously they have the hot streaks and all that stuff, but it is everything. Yeah, if you start getting hot, if you start scoring against obviously the CPU, you know, they're not blitzing. If you're losing, if you've had a couple bad 3-and-outs, they blitz more. You don't have that much more time. So the whole game itself can change based on how you're doing as well, and it feels it. It's quite impressive how
it replicates college football so well.
Yeah, how that happens compared to, again, like Madden. If you've had a couple bad, you know, downs or whatever, the whole game doesn't have that feel. You can still come back and win.
And you can
unless
still
I'm
throw
playing
a
against
bomb.
you. Yeah,
It's just, it has made me realize, like, and you have the Road to Glory this year, where then you can export your player into Madden and like do a whole thing there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that you need to have Madden 25 for that, which is coming out in I think like 2 or 3 weeks. And I didn't buy the bundle of the two because I started first. I have not really enjoyed Madden in a good 3 years. It's the same game over and over again. I didn't buy it. I'm not continuing to pay $70 for the game for updated rookies every year because that's what it's felt like for the last 3. And so I bought College Football 25, and I was like, if I really want to continue a Road to Glory guy into Madden, I will. I've played a week of this game, and I just don't see a world in which I'm touching Madden this year, at least until it comes onto Game Pass for free. I'm not paying for this thing. I'll be playing college football all the way up until Black Ops 6 releases in the end of October, and then it's just Call of Duty and college football still. So
Yeah.
they have brought me away from Madden, but it's a good thing because Madden's a bunch of fucking cheese, and I complain about that game all the time. And it's so refreshing to have a different football game that's got a different feel now. If you'd like to keep up with us and how we're doing, well, at least me personally, I've got, I'm streaming this probably all this week again, streaming it a bunch and going through those franchises or those dynasties. Me and Dad have one that we might stream at some point to the New Era accounts and do something there. We're not sure yet. Maybe with a video of a bowl game. Maybe we should schedule each other out of conference next year and play that game. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Maybe we do maybe we set up some ultimate teams and we do some 2v2s for some YouTube content for a New Era. I think that would be pretty cool. So you can look out for that on our New Era accounts on YouTube. If we're going to do anything college football wise, it's going to be there. I've got all my streaming stuff. We know all the links. We've done that before. But then also on my YouTube, doing an FIU rebuild, getting some long form content out there. So episode 2 just went out yesterday where we played week 1 against Indiana. Probably going to record episode 3 like today or something, get it out Wednesday or Thursday. But we had a whole bunch of college football content that is up and we'll continue to post up. So if you guys would like to see that stuff, if you'd definitely like to see, just some gaming stuff from us, we can do it and post up some videos. We were even playing the Road to the Masters last week, which is super fun. So just let us know, on social media or through the email and everything. We'll go over ways to contact us in a little bit here, but we'd love to hear from you about it and give you the content that you want to see. So let us know. All right. You got anything quick about the Open before we do trivia?
Yeah, the Open, and we mentioned this going in, and I said Xander, and you're like, nope, and he turned it on.
I did say
that. He turned it on. A fantastic round of 65, 6 under. So back-to-back majors that he has won. His 4th round has been 65. Other stories, Billy Horschel had the 54-hole lead, finished off in second with a -7, and Justin Rose, who had to play in a qualifier just to get in, finished in second place as well. So Saturday was the day. It was ugly and raining and windy and ugly. That cost, I think, Shane Lowry
Shane
Lowry the tournament there. So Colin Morikawa, who we said finished +2. Where else? Who else?
Yeah, that top 5 parlay that I put in last week when we were talking about, absolutely fucking blew chunks. Well, it was terrible. It was so bad. Let it be known, the Americans swept the majors this year.
Yes.
That should be celebrated. Let's go USA. Good stuff.
And going
for Xander with his 2nd major of the year, man. This whole stigma going into this year, it's always been Xander can't finish, Xander can't do this, and now he won 50% of the majors this year. So big ups to Xander. That's awesome.
And he's the reigning Olympic gold medalist.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna kick ass there too. Yeah, no, that's pretty exciting. We'll see how their golf goes there. All right. Well, we've got 2 little trivia things for today. We've got one for, let me know if you can hear yourself there through, probably shouldn't be able to. I think it's just Google Chrome. We've got one for Red Sox. Can you pick the players who won 3 or more World Series with the Red Sox? This one's very short. It says 1:30. So we've got 2. Second one is a Hall of Fame quarterbacks trivia quiz in preparation for training camp opening up in the Hall of Fame game, which will be in, what you said, like 2 weeks, Dad? We'll do something just...
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, so like a week and a half.
Yep.
We'll do a little Hall of Fame thing there. So I'm guessing this is just, they're going to give us names We're going to go through here and pick these
All right.
Red Sox ones.
Can you make it bigger?
Yep. 3+ World Series wins. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Alex Rodriguez. No. Babe Ruth. No.
No.
Bill Kerrigan.
No.
No. Kurt Schilling. He won.
I think just one. So we have 8 people.
Yeah. We have 8. So David Ortiz won 3.
Yep.
Duffy Lewis. No. Dwight Evans.
No.
No. Everett Scott. Harry Hooper. We know. Did Kevin Youkilis? I think he only won 2. Was he there in 2013?
I don't think
He might have been at the end of his. I don't know.
Well, we got to pick people here.
I know. Let's go. Kevin? No.
Ted?
Was Kurt 10? No. I mean, dude, you know
Oh.
Ted. I mean, we didn't have one.
Yeah.
We hadn't had one since like 1918.
Uh-oh. We got to go.
I know.
Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth.
Babe won 3 or more World Series with the Red Sox. Okay, so these are some old guys.
Well, then put Harry Hooper.
Harry Hooper. Bang.
Yeah.
All right. We know that it's not A-Rod. Bill Kerrigan. Larry Gardner.
No.
Olaf Hendrickson. You got any of these names? Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs didn't win 3.
No.
Dwight Evans.
Not Dwight Evans. No. Duffy
Duffy?
Lewis. Duffy.
Bang. Everett.
Do Everett.
Bang. One more. Kurt or Bill Kerrigan. Bang. Oh, all right. So, hey, average score was 74. We had 75. I don't see like the correct ones. Well, we know it's not Wade. Oh no, are these the incorrect ones?
Oh yeah, Larry and
these
Olaf.
are the ones we missed. Larry and Olaf. All right, yeah, just some old fuckers. All right, so it wasn't Euclid and it wasn't Kurt. Those are the only ones. Damn, I thought that would be a lot more of the guys. Then again, if you think about it, I don't know if there was a lot that were on the team throughout 04 to 13 outside of
Ortiz.
Yeah. Did Xander win? No, Xander only won 2 because his first year was 2013 when we won. And then he won 2018. Yeah. Well, hey, got above the average score. I'll take it.
Yep.
All right. Hall of Fame quarterbacks trivia quiz. This quiz is about some of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game of football. Good luck. Estimated time, 3 minutes. All right. Last 3 plays, I guess, got 6 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and 6 out of 10. Average score 7. Let's beat it. How many championships did Otto Graham win?
Let's go 3.
What Hall of Fame quarterback famously guaranteed that his team would win a Super Bowl against the Colts?
Joe Namath.
I know it's not Brady. It's Namath. What quarterback led the Dallas Cowboys to 3 Super Bowl wins? This is Aikman. Yeah, right?
No.
No, Staubach?
Starbuck.
Didn't Aikman win 3?
No. I don't think so.
He just went 2? I thought he did. Name the quarterback whose nickname was the Comeback Kid.
I don't think it was Montana. I'm thinking was it Steve Young.
Young? Yeah. This Hall of Famer not only played quarterback from 1949 to 1975, but also was a place kicker.
George Blanda.
Yep. What team did the slinging Sammy Bow play for?
Washington Redskins.
Thank you. I have no idea. Who's the first quarterback to throw for over 5,000 yards in a season? This is
Drew Brees.
Is it or was it Peyton?
I think it was Drew Brees.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Peyton had those 5,000 yard seasons like later in his career, like with Denver. This quarterback led the Green Bay Packers to victory in Super Bowl 1 and 2. Bart Starr.
Yeah.
Brett Favre is known as a Packer. However, he played on several other teams. Which of these teams did he not play for? He did play for the Jets. He did play for the Falcons. He did play for the Vikings. He did not play for the Colts.
Correct.
And which of these quarterbacks led the drive to take their team to Super Bowl 21?
John Elway.
Bang. Submit the answers. 7 championships for Otto Graham.
Wow.
Went to the championship every year from 46 to 55. Browns joined the NFL in 1950 when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1965. 7 is crazy. Yeah, we got the Joe Namath one. It was Aikman. I told you.
Wow.
Joe was the comeback kid.
Wow.
Yeah, we should have got that one. That's gonna hurt. This Hall of Famer not only played quarterback, but was a place kicker. George Blanda, yes. You got slinging Sammy Bell. Dan Marino threw for 5,084 in the 84 season. Barely did it. Damn, I wouldn't have said Dan though. That was between Peyton and Drew. So Bart Starr got that, Colts got that, and John Elway. We got 6 out of 10. Didn't hit the average. Damn, that Joe Montana one's gonna hurt.
We would have if I listened to you and picked Troy.
Yeah, we would have, but I only know so much. So, all right. Well, you got anything else here before we wrap up episode? Wait, did I say the 29? Yeah, I was almost about to say 30. No, this is 29.
No, let's just keep it going, Sox. Let's
keep it going, Sox.
Let's do something that we think is just not out of reach, but would just make us so damn happy. 5-1 or 6-0.
6-0 would be great. Even 4-2 is all right. 5-1 would be great to grab some games back this week. Last time I checked, Red Sox at plus 3,500 to win the World Series. So just want to put that out there if you want to take a little flyer on it. This is not gambling advice.
No.
But hey.
If you do have a problem, there's an 800 number out there for
you. Yeah, call the number. I don't know it because I don't call it. All right. Well, that'll conclude episode 29 here. If you'd like to contact us, like we said earlier, about any gaming stuff you'd want to see or anything else related to the podcast, at A New Era Podcast on Twitter, on Instagram, A New Era Podcast on Facebook, and A New Era Podcast at gmail.com. If you would like to email us any questions, comments, concerns, or funny business. And with that being said, we will catch you guys next week for episode 30, number 30. Number 30.
Thank you for continuing to listen, us listeners, and all those new people I've been pushing. Listen to our podcast. Thank you, and love you, son.
Love you, Dad.